Alright, bringing you a Deep Rock Galactic video today. Going to be featuring somebody else's build. A subscriber, now friend, Halvard, has provided this for me. This guy has played for over 2,000 hours, and he utilizes a program called Meat Shield, which is more or less a talent calculator, or a mod calculator, that factors in everything math that you can think of. The coolest thing that I can think of is that it calculates like time to kill. So he's got the math and he's got the experience to back up all of his builds, and I would like to just try to quickly as possible go over all this. He provided something like 3.5 pages worth of information here, so I'm going to try to go through that and maybe offer a little bit of my opinion as I go along. So let's just start off with his guns. So we got the shotgun here. So tier 1, he chose Supercharged Feed Mechanism because of his overclock, the magnetic pellet alignment. It impacts the rate of fire, which is needed for follow-up burst damage. Yep, I think that's good. I also think it complements its slower rate of fire weakness, so I'm with him there. Tier 2, he chose more pellets. Yeah, more pellets, more damage, right? Can't go wrong with this. I think across the board, this is pretty much the bread and butter. This is the... I like this one. I don't think these are bad things to choose, and I think for other builds they make more sense, but I think just generically across the board this is great, so I'm with him on that one. For tier 3, he chose the Recoil Dampener. Do not tap fire the shotguns, simply fire through. So he likes to hold this bad boy down, and I think getting this is going to make that it's smoother, right? Because I'm pretty sure he got this bad boy, so you can fire fully automatic. So you're going to be firing automatic, and you're going to be able to control your shots more easily with what he's doing. I think this is actually the only one that I disagree with him on. I don't feel like it's necessary to lower your recoil. I think the gun is easy enough to control, even on the first shot. So I think personally I go with this, but I absolutely understand why he would do that. Tier 4, he chose bigger pellets, reason more damage. Do we need to say anything else? More damage, baby. So I think he doesn't do this, and I don't do it either for this particular gun. He's really trying to go for the weak point shots. I mean, that's highlighted here in his overclock. Weak point damage bonus increased. So you're going to want to go for weak point shots. And I think it's going to be easier to pull off with the shotgun, right? You're shooting at the face, you're shooting at the butt. So that all makes sense there. He wants more damage in the weak points. So yes, I'm with him on that. Makes sense. All that synergy. And then tier 5. I mean... yeah, you could have like a really lengthy explanation here, but good lord, fully automatic with increased rate of fire? Ugh, that is just so good. So what are you giving up? Shoot your turrets to make them create an overload. I don't know. Maybe that's cool. Maybe some people like that. Heck, man, I think this is the way to go. So I'm with him on that. Alright, let's go to the next thing, because he's got a lot of information here. I'm trying to cover everything that he wrote. I have this up on the screen, so if you don't like my voice, you could just turn all the sound off and just read this. So tier 1, he goes with prolonged power generation. You want range for taking out enemies. I personally don't think this is necessary. I think the range is good enough as is. I like this more, but you know, knowing how this guy plays, he probably rounds as many bugs up as possible to get them in this enormous cluster, and then shoots just one devastating beams. Like I see why he does that. Tier 2, he goes with damage, right? Yeah, damage. I'm all about the damage as well. Anytime I can get more damage, I don't always do it, but I typically am like, oh, I want the more damage, so great there. Okay, tier 3, you want the full beam out immediately as to cut down a swath of enemies. Look at him using the word swath. You know, I think people think that might be the, I don't know. This is what I like as well. Yeah. It just makes it more consistent. It makes it easier to shoot. So, I like that. And then tier 5, he chose the plasma trail. Sustained damage and mitigation of swarmers. Yeah, you know, it just leaves like a little something on the ground, and if things walk into it, they get the owies. So I think this plus his overclock, right? Ignite most enemies in one pass. So you're going to get that fire damage. like tick, 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 and you're going to get this. Ooh. And I actually asked him, like, why do you go with this over other things? And his response to me was, it's complicated, but I was like, if you could just say it in one sentence, please. This is what he told me. Sustain with plasma and fire dots, ignore armor. So, great choices there. Beautiful. Okay, Pickaxe. Oh boy, let's switch to that real quick. Basically, he goes with this because well, let me just pull it up. I don't want to lie. I chose Serrated Edge because enemies with 2 to 300% melee weakness are found corpses. Yeah, like oppressors, right? Yep. That's gonna shred them. So yeah, I see why he goes with that. Yep, makes a lot of sense. All right, the turret. Oh boy, his turret is way different. Maybe not way different. Nah, it's way different. I don't. He does it different than me. Can I say the word different anymore? I don't know if I said the word different enough. So tier 1, he goes with the Gemini system. His reason, focusing on crowd management, the extra gun puts rounds down range that allow for other angles. Okay, yeah. Allows aiming at a butt if both turrets are 20 meters apart and aiming at one another. Okay, great. Tier 2, you know what, let me just talk about this for a second. Yeah, I disagree with this. I'm sure his like math calculator has some sort of formula that says like this is way better. I think this is just a pain in the butt, and I don't think it's worth it. That's just me. I like this more. It's straight up easier to use, and I don't think I've ever struggled on a Hazard 5 because I didn't have the double turrets. So, you know, he'd probably say that it's not just preference, it's objectively better. You know, because my calculator says so. Maybe. I like this personally, but that's my major disagreement here, and it's really the only thing that I didn't like about his build. Yeah, sure. Alright, so tier 2, quick deploy. I think if you're a noob, you should get quick deploy, but his reasoning is managing turrets needs to be the last thing. You know, I could just sarcastically say get good, learn to play. I don't know, it's not that serious, but you know, if you're doing 2, like this comes from, you know, me who only does 1, so I just don't think this is worth it. But I guess if you're trying to always upkeep 2 of these, like this is maybe more required. 3, extended ammo capacity reason. I don't want to babysit this turret. That's a cute way of saying that I'm not very good at managing this turret. And tier 4, defender system. There's no other logical choice. I'm sure there is, but I agree with him on this one. I like this. More damage, but you gotta put a little more finesse in setting it up. Alright, platform gun. I don't think we need to talk about this. Increased ammo bag. I think you have to get the tier 2 one, and repellent. So let's take a look at that. Right, yep. More ammo, have to get that, and a little CC. I don't think that's any different than what I did. Nope, that's the same. Okay, so I think that's how most people run it. So he gets Plasma Burster, and I get Lure. Why does he do that? So he gets Plasma Burster because if you get good at throwing it and not killing yourself or your team, this is the most damage you can put out with a nade in this class. I don't think this is really an issue. I think those darn mines are the issue in regards to this. So to me, Plasma Burster is nothing special. But yeah, if you want like a more traditional, I know it's not a traditional grenade, but you know, you throw it, boom. So yeah, I can see why he does that. I like Lure. I think Lure adds a little flavor, something a little different than just hurling yet another grenade with a different color. But that's just me. I don't think this is a bad choice at all. Really, the only disagreement I have with him is this thing. All right, so armor. Okay, I just lied. There's a couple things I disagree with him on. Let's open that up and let's get this back up. So tier 1, he goes with improved. Yeah, I want back on a recharge as quickly as possible, as my playstyle aims to keep my engagements in delivering only chip damage by means of CC and placement. Oh, I don't even know what that means. What I would guess is that, yeah, you want to get back in the fight as soon as possible after your shields were already chewed down once before. I mean, I think that would make sense. I like this personally. You know, 5 might not be a lot, but I guess because I play Scout so much, I just, you know, my shields are down, I get away, use some range, they'll come back. I'm alright. So I like this. So tier 2, he gets shield health. This helps with mitigating some attacks. He's got some formula, some math here. Yeah, I think in another video I've explained like 4 times now why I think max health is better. I think you're more likely to live from a fall with this. I think you're more likely to live from something that's going to do some serious damage to you. And this is worthless on missions where there's no shield. But, you know, I get it though. This is the first thing that depletes when you get hit, and if you're recharging it faster, these kind of work together. So I could see this. It's not what I would do, but I see it. You have to get that. And last, I don't get this either, but when I say I don't get it, I mean I don't use it, but I understand. You need the extra time on revive to get a drop, or throw a nade. 6 seconds is an eternity of options. This I 100% agree with. I think this is maybe underloved in a lot of builds. So I think it's cool that he did this. I like this personally. It's consistent. But I don't die anyway, so haha. Nah, just kidding. Alright, so... Oh yeah, let's do the perks. Good gracious, let's do those perks. So much to talk about here, oh man. Okay, so perks. Born ready, reason you don't have to reload. Oh, and it has 5. I mean, it doesn't matter if it has 5 or not, just not having to reload that slow thing is perfect. And you know, the shotgun doesn't really reload that fast either, so yeah, born ready makes sense. It's great. You can have the platform gun out, right, and it reloads one or both of these. That's fantastic. I think it goes with resupplier. Reason, if you get downed, you need to get health as quickly as possible. If you're the last one up and try all your weapons, you need ammo as quickly as possible. And it's almost complete. Yeah. That's all great. I think the argument is really like resupplier versus vampire. Which one is better? Which one gives you more? I don't know, honestly. I think vampire makes the most sense if you're a driller, and I think resupplier is a much stronger argument than vampire is. I think for everyone else, it's a great perk. I think it's fantastic. So like I'm with him on these two, 100%. So then, what does he get next? Unstoppable. What does he got here? I'll take every consistent advantage to be able to backpedal away from a swarm. Getting hit by a slasher will put you below the swarms. This perk, some jumps, terrain placement, you walk away from it. Okay, that's interesting. No one cares about the carry speed. Carry speed. Okay. Yeah, so, I don't agree with him on this one. I don't like this one. I know it's kind of like too long, didn't read, kind of mean, learn to play kind of advice, but I just don't get hit, is what I would say. And then, especially if you're going to get dash, I mean, do you really need that? But, okay. Dash. I don't even think we need to talk about why dash is so good. Dash is incredible. Dash is amazing. Dash is awesome. Look at that, 25-second cooldown? That's nothing, baby. Dash is awesome. And then, let's see, solo. Heightened senses, reason I hate leeches, I hate grabbers. Yeah, I'm with him on that, but he actually, I guess I put this here. Iron Will, Hazard 5 requirement. I disagree. If you guys are all really good and don't die, then this is worthless. Yeah, I know. I'm like one of the only people that plays this game that doesn't love Iron Will. I hope there is a day that they nerf this, because it's too powerful. And I think it's a crutch, personally. If you all died, then you all deserve to lose. That's just how I feel. So, but anyways, you know, Iron Will is community consensus best perk, so it makes sense that you quote, you know, it's a quote requirement. I disagree with that, but I can't argue that it's not the best or one of the best. Okay, so this is going to be so long already. Playstyle. Hold my shots. Only go for known good weak point shots. So he's a little more precise, a little more cautious about what he's doing. Only for enemies that are a direct threat or who require burst damage. Anything else, I kite into a pile, nade it, breach it. Primarily used to mitigate threats. I only 96 on this gun. I don't even know what that means. Don't need to be frugal, but if you have to think about being frugal, you need to focus on your weak point kills. Okay. I don't know what that is. Alright, breach cutter. Clump enemies into piles. Put large health targets into rows. Pull the trigger. Yep, that all makes sense there. So, I mean, you can pause the video and read that. Turrets, I use them for crowd control or area denial. Look at him, area denial. Protecting a supply drop. Ooh, oh, what a cutie. Area denial. I deny you. I may blitz. This guy, he's using words like swath and denial. I'm liking this. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, blah blah blah. That's why he likes the turrets. And get good. Get good with aiming. Check background for players. Is that really a problem with the plasma burster? That's not really an issue with. I guess his experience has been people blowing him up or him blowing up other people. I think it's those darn mines. I don't think it's the plasma burster. And wow. Okay, so that is the build, right? Real quick, we'll just take a look at these. There it is. Oh my goodness, isn't that fantastic? Except for that, yuckies. That's what he likes. That's generic. And plasma burster. Once again, big thank you to Halvard. This guy is really cool. I can't stress that enough. I've been very fortunate, very blessed, very lucky to have crossed paths with this guy. He's just really, I don't know, he's like one in a million. He's just a really cool dude. We don't agree on everything, but he always has a well-informed, a well-put-together justification for why he does his builds the way he does. And he's got the experience, and I've learned so much from him already in such a short period of time. You know, he's incredibly handsome. I can just sense his handsomeness. I know it's true. So a big thank you to Halvard for providing this build. One of the cool things, well, maybe it's so. Sometimes, like with these tool tips and things, when you read these, they're not maybe like the most descriptive. And being able to talk to somebody who has put in a lot of hours that can tell you that, like, hey, that description is actually bad. This is good or this is not as good. You know, it's fantastic that I can share and compare and trade notes with someone who is so good at the game and so helpful. So anyways, a big thank you to Halvard, and thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to provide me a build that I could talk about, maybe give my opinions on, or anything at all, please let me know. And as soon as news becomes available, I will report on that. And yeah. So anyways, I don't know if I've already said it a million times, but thank you so much, and stay tuned for more.